If this is your first time joining us for the Untapped podcast, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We've actually got 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. So we go over our anecdotal experience with mindset and mentality, and then we pass on advice to you guys to apply to your own lives. Next, we have physical vitality episodes. Now, in these ones, we really get to showcase our expertise because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. So in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. So we cover everything to do with the gym, workouts, nutrition, diet, supplements, workout programs, and fitness programs like 75 Hard. Sometimes, and we did this in our last episode in 103, we will take trending topics within the fitness industry, and then we will cover them, give our thoughts and opinions on those as well. Guys, there is a lot of free game in those episodes, okay? We go over a lot, and we give out a lot as well. So make sure you pay attention to those episodes, whether you're a beginner or an experienced worker out.
Exercisist. Guys, phenomenal start there for our first 2 formats. The third format is our breaking news format. That's what we have for you today. It is a current event-based format. Now, that is when we give our opinions on situations, go over current events, like, let's say, the Israel-Hamas situation as an example of that. We go on articles that are going on in today's world, and we give a breakdown of why they might be BS or, our smart exercise opinions on them, right. I guess, even though they're current event-based episodes. But you're probably wondering why our personal trainers talk about current events, because it is that important to be involved in them in this current day and age, especially in the United States. Now, our fourth format is our masculinity-based format episodes. It's called the Knights Table format. Now, on those, keep in mind, I'm 25, Wurtz is 25, Mitch is 23. We're not coming to you from some incredible high horse as some kind of perfect dude. The only perfect dude ever was Jesus Christ, for that matter. So we are talking about how important masculinity is in today's world and why we really think it is paramount to change the tide in today's world as well. Our fifth format is our guest format. The guest format is, as you can guess, is when we sit down with somebody that brings you value. Could be an entrepreneur, fitness professional, somebody that has a great story like a JT Thomas or Connor Goodrich, as we mentioned in our past episodes. Now, those ones we learn a lot from. You're also going to learn a lot from, even though we might know them really well, or maybe you know them well, depending on who you are, you're always going to gain some extra information from those. The last thing we have to introduce, guys, is our producer and my brother, Mitch and Gabel.
Hi there, guys. How are you?
So man. Corny.
Oh, Money, man. Mitch, it's always a pleasure, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, buddy.
Like that JT pause there.
That's what it is. We got to work on our what's it called? Our tone in our speech, so we sound more intelligent when we do it. Because last one we found out we were halfway brain dead, and we did. So we don't want to have that happen again.
No,
I don't think tone can help the intelligence here.
Well, but it could give the appearance of higher intelligence.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I can agree
we
with
like
that.
to fake things here.
Yeah, of course.
So,
never mind.
So now we're all just going to be sitting here in silence, waiting to respond.
Exactly. Is it like a 3-second pause? That was what JT. I think JT's was like a 2-second. That was a solid number. Yeah. At least.
Okay, I just counted to 3.
See, that's what I'm saying. At least, dude. That's what I'm saying. It was crazy. How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm living.
Good.
Baseball's already started.
Surprise.
December 6th when we're recording this.
And that seems to be how the new athletics go these days compared to when you and I were playing sports at that time. Hey, Siri.
I hate
How you
Siri
doing?
so much. Gosh. Sorry if you guys could hear that. The long year started this week, and we're back to it. I mean, get a few weeks off. I guess a little bit more than a few, but we're back to it. So
it is a sport
clutch,
you love,
baby.
right?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
No, I am excited. It's good to be around the boys, and we're at 13U now, so this is a big age. It's a really big age, right before high school level ball, and right before real baseball too, as far as the dimensions and whatnot of the field. And I'm excited to be back. The winter training is a very exciting time because you make huge strides in the progression as a player. As obviously I was a player, so I kind of wish I would have appreciated winter work and winter training and stuff like that. Now, granted, I played for some really high level clubs. I really did, and I'm extremely thankful for that.
No big deal.
Well, but I didn't have near the opportunity than what my boys do. So to be someone like to be in a coaching position now, and I can realize the opportunity. I can realize the facility we have, which is the most badass one in all St. Louis. Shameless plug there. But
Let's go.
Legacy Performance Academy. You wish you played for us.
Shout out. Shout out. Shout out. Shout out.
You know, I realize the tremendous opportunity my players have, and whether that's players on my team or I feel like I'm a coach really for all of our players, you know, I just kind of feel like that. And to be an avenue for them to get better through the facility, through my knowledge, through the knowledge that I gain as well, is pretty cool. You know, it's pretty sweet. So.
Well, I feel like at 13, you too, you're probably starting to see not only strides in them as a player, like in a big way, but also in how they are becoming young men.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's really exciting, as we've talked about in past episodes for you. You know,
and you know, it's they certainly still have their immaturities,
sure,
just as we do as well. And we're
for
25,
for sure.
You know, we're almost 30.
Don't say that.
Shut up, Mitch.
Yeah, young guy over there, young gun.
So absolutely, you know, they certainly still have their immaturities. However, it is certainly kind of at that turning point where you start to see who, you know, not only might continue with sports, maybe they go a different route with, you know, music or art or something like that. But also they start to develop ideas about the world. They start to have thoughts about the world and thoughts about girls and things like that. You know, it's a very, as funny as that is, but like,
it's true. It's accurate.
Know?
Yeah.
And so, and I've talked about this a lot, whether it's on the podcast here, just us personally, or even on my Instagram before as well. That's really where I feel most of my power as a coach is instilling good morals and good values and stuff in them. And, you know, obviously that's what we're going to talk about today as well.
It is.
Kind of directed more at the U.S., but still, the fact remains it starts on the individual level. You know, we've talked about that, and, you know, Andy talks about that, and, you know, it's anyone with a brain right now can say that and should say that. It starts at the individual level. It starts in your home. It starts in your community. It starts at the workplace. If you're a coach, it starts with your team. You know, it starts with you. Bottom line, starts with you, and I am that you, not only for me and for us, but for my guys too. You know, and that's pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, certainly, because I have to live what I preach to them. You know, I have to set that example because what do kids do? They follow what they see.
They follow the leader. Yep.
You know, they follow the leader. They follow what they see. If I tell them to go
especially still a young man like you.
Exactly.
Who
right.
They can almost relate to even a little bit more than maybe their
100%.
parents. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I see how my guys respond to me compared to how guys respond to a dad coach. You know, as good of a dad coach, or as good of a coach, I should say, as that dad might be, there's times where they'll follow me before that, you know? So if I tell them to go left, but I go right, one, they're going to lose trust in me, and two, they're going to go right.
Absolutely.
They're going to follow where or what they see, you know? So it in turn continues to make me better, you know? And
it's a great intro to our episode too.
It is. It is.
Holy
I mean,
crap,
that's
dude.
exactly
That's awesome.
It's exactly what we wanted to talk about today, guys, is reinstilling moral belief, morals in general, values in general, you know, because our country and our world really, but specifically here in the U.S., like we lack that. We lack that big time. And that is why we see just so many things in shambles really around the country. Anywhere you look, any state, any city, major city, I should say, you know, it's scary and it's sad.
Even poor rural areas are a good example of that.
Oh, without a doubt.
We go into rural Missouri, we see that all the time.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. And then on the off chance we go downtown St. Louis, I mean, you got to watch your back.
100%.
You have to watch your back. And like, I don't want to feel like that in my own city. You know, we're very passionate about St. Louis. We love the city. We're very proud of the city, not even just the sports teams, but just in general. Like,
in general, yeah.
I get excited to tell people I'm from St. Louis, you know, but what's the first thing everyone says?
There you go.
What is it?
Murder rate.
Exactly.
Every single time.
Yes, every time, without question. And it's like, I don't want to be known by
You guys
that.
still #1 this year?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Hilarious,
Great.
except it's true.
Yeah.
Except I can't go downtown in my own city. You know, I want to brag about the food, about the culture. I want to brag about the sports teams. You know, I want to brag about things really other than the sports teams. Again, as much as we love the Blues, but love the Cardinals, even the Battlehawks, you know, like we're passionate about that and we support the hell out of them. But it's like, I want to do other things too. I want people to want to come to the Arch, you know, and come to Union Station now that they've redone it. And the Hill, yes.
Midtown,
Exactly. But I tell people when they visit, it's like, honestly, I wouldn't go downtown. I really wouldn't. You know, there's other cool places around.
Maybe 2 safe areas downtown that like we trust.
Maybe.
And it's like around Forest Park and it's around the Hill.
Yeah.
That I think of that come off the top of my head.
But even sometimes too, there's stuff that goes on in Forest Park.
Absolutely there is.
Yeah. And there's a lot to do in Forest Park too for that matter.
Is.
But you know, the only time I actually do like feel safe, quote unquote, is at a game because there's so many people around. You know, it's like, okay, I'm sure someone's not going to walk in the middle of the street and shoot someone else while there's all these people around, but you never know. You never know.
No clue.
But
And the reason, guys, we even go on this rant that we're on right now about St. Louis, because it's a close to home example of
Sure.
the morals and the values in this country right
absolutely.
now. And you know, one of those things, like, and as Wurtz was saying, he was saying we got to start at home, at the individual level, even past home at the individual level.
Yeah, right.
You know, and again, like, what do we run into that is becoming more and more of a problem now? Is single fatherhood across the board.
Yeah.
Not just Black community, not just Hispanic, Asian, white, doesn't matter. It is across the board that fathers either, even if they're in the home, they're not as involved, and if a lot of times they're not in the home these days.
Right.
And what do we see? Because of that reason, that's a starting point.
Yeah.
That's one area we could start as a moral value,
Right.
for sure.
Well, and what that creates, and this is probably where you're going with this, but what that creates is sons and daughters that are raised without a father figure. So they either one rely on their mom to instill those beliefs and those values and morals, and of course, in a quote unquote normal family where mom and dad are both actively involved and both are in the home, you know, obviously both parents, mom and dad, are supplying that. But if you're only getting it from one, like, there's going to be things that lack.
Yeah.
You know, how does a mom really teach her son how to ask a girl out? You know, like, is it possible?
Absolutely.
Of course.
But
like, a dad is going to be able to relate to that son more. You know, how is a single dad going to help his daughter put on makeup for the first time? I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have any idea how to do that.
Clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I'd say, honey, throw in a little bit of mascara and we're good. And and that's why I tell her, leave it there.
You just kind of
like,
drag,
draw it on there.
Lit up for this by you girls, but like, you just drag the little spikes on your eyebrows or on your eyelashes.
Our female listeners are just like, these guys are idiots.
Screaming at us right now.
Come on!
But like, that's not something we should know.
No, we shouldn't.
Because we're also not fruitcake men. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're absolutely right. You are 1,000% right. That is not the father's job.
Exactly.
1,000%. What you were saying there is it's not the father's job.
Right. And those are silly little things, of course. Asking a girl out, putting
but they're
on
good
makeup.
examples.
Of course. But, you know, it's little things like that lead to big things. And then you have a teenage boy, or you have a guy our age who feels lost. And we have some of them in our men's group that didn't have fathers growing up.
Yes, we do.
Connor's actually one of them. He talked about this on his episode.
On the episode, yeah.
You know, like, there are things that he lacked in his childhood and in his young adulthood, because, you know, he's significantly older than us. He's not as old as JT, of course.
Not as old as JT, of course, yeah. Connor's was season 3, episode 13. By the way.
Boom.
Yep.
There you go. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but it leads to big things. Go ahead.
It does. And, you know, that, and what you made a good point of there is the fact that a single parenthood, whether it's single father or single mother, guess what it's always going to be behind? It's always going to be behind a strong mother and a strong father. And I don't mean a strong and independent woman, and I don't mean a strong and independent man. I mean a strong woman and a strong man together as one. And and you and I can speak on this, and all three of us can speak on this because of our parents' relationship.
100%.
Because we've seen it firsthand.
And we continue to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we continue to see it. And that's the thing is, there's nothing that compares quite like a father that knows his role and a mother that knows her role. There's nothing that compares to that for children. And that is looked over so many times because so many people worry about policy and whatnot. And what they don't understand is that policy can't fix if a father or mother is in the household a lot of times. Now, we could have a conversation about, you know, back in the, I think it was late 60s, early 70s, there was a bill that encouraged basically single motherhood in the Black community that led to their issues now and have more single mothers in the households.
Right.
So there's a conversation there, yes, that the government can be involved in it, but realistically, it comes down to each community. It comes down to the white community handling their shit on that. And it comes down to the Black community making sure mother and father are with their kids and taking care of it. It comes down to Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter. It comes down to that single family doing it together.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
And showing their kids what that looks like.
Yeah.
You know, because not only do we have two great sets of parents here, okay, but it's not like our parents like sat down with each other. I mean, I'm going to assume this didn't happen. But it's not like they sat down at the kitchen table and wrote out a little rule book. And it's like, okay, you're going to handle this one, I'm going to handle this one. You're going to handle that, I'm
Yeah.
going to handle that. Like, no, like it's natural. Their
Yeah.
roles, and I'm alluding to their roles. You know, you mentioned when a father knows his role, a mother knows her role. It's not like the father is dictating that. It's not like the mother is dictating that. It's just they go into their natural, what their natural senses cause them to want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we're advocating for here, guys. Like that's what we need back, and we need strong parents, you know, and we need strong then individuals, because if strong parents can raise strong individuals, then those individuals repeat that cycle, and then we don't get into the world and into the country that we're into now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest thing, is it comes down to good parenting, but like you said earlier, it comes down to you.
Yeah.
It comes down to us individuals living the life that we want to live and inspiring those around us to then do that as well. Because if you continue to set that example and set the standard for yourself, those around you will catch on as well, and they will live that way as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and what are some of those things? I mean, for example, caring about the people around you.
100%.
That's a very simple
Yeah.
one to start with.
Yeah.
Caring about protecting the people around you.
Mhm.
Again, we talked about that as a man a million times.
Yeah.
That protector role.
Absolutely.
You have a certain protector, or you have a certain role to be able to be capable of violence, as a lot of gurus,
Just
so
being
to speak,
fit.
talk about.
That's
being fit.
really as simple as
I
that.
mean, yeah, because if you're fit, hypothetically, you should be able to handle certain scenarios that are thrown your way.
Like, can you do those basics that we mentioned back in Physical Vitality, I don't know, probably five-ish episodes ago?
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe?
I'm forgetting that one. My bad.
Yeah.
Not on my game there.
Yeah, come on, dude. What are you doing, man?
Not on my game. Sorry, boys.
Know your role. That's what we're talking about here.
That was on the rule book. That was on the checklist, Wurtz. Damn it. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the point of the matter is, you're right. I mean, because even if you're somebody like Connor, who might not have grown up with a father, think about how good of a dude he is.
100%.
Unbelievable.
And he's going to be a fantastic father.
Fantastic
Yes.
father when the time comes.
Yes.
And the thing is that in Connor's case, he had to teach himself those lessons. You know, we were actually having that conversation a couple nights ago, or last week, I think it was,
Yeah.
I believe. And we were having the conversation about that as a dude, you don't really have an option to not learn the world to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, yeah, you didn't have a dad, but you got to have male role models some way.
Yeah. Well, and I think for him, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, what I was going to say is there's options. There's the church.
Right.
There's the church. And we've actually found recently a lot of very masculine, not just focused churches, but like they have a masculine role preached in them, so to speak. You have churches, you have
the military,
you have Omen Coffee. Actually, the military is a great example because,
and that's what I was going to say was
Yeah.
like, that's probably kind of what drew Connor to it. Granted, his older brother was in the military as well. So it was a little bit of a family thing, but he was seeking that. I have another close friend, and you might know who I'm referencing, but like he's maybe Money Mitch's age. No, he might be in between us. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this guy's dad was at home, but his parents were like awkwardly separated or something like that. Like they weren't divorced. It was kind of a weird situation is the point. Okay. And his dad was in the picture, but I think there were just things that lacked a bit. He joined the military. You know, he joined the military. I think it was right out of high school, actually. And this is a guy I worked with back in the day and whatnot. And you might be listening, which you'll know who you are if you are. But he literally told me, he was like, I need to grow up some, and that's why I'm doing this. Like I can literally hear him and see where we were when he told me that exact sentence. He's like, I need to grow up some. And he literally went into the infantry too, like the basic level, like grunt of the army, like in the shit, you know, in it.
Yeah.
And
boots are getting dirty.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, the guy that he came out, like he grew up, you know.
I love that, but also on another end, it's like, it's sad.
A little bit.
Because to a point, it's like, that's actually someone that I'm glad you brought up, because it's not just the father just being there. That's not what a healthy.
Right.
That's not what happens.
Just sleeping in the same house.
That's not how you build sons.
Sure.
It's not just the father being there.
Right.
Not just he's like, oh yeah, they were together, and that's all you hear about it.
And that's the end.
That's
of the
all you hear
sentence.
about the relationship.
Right.
You got to be working together as a mother and father.
Yeah.
And again, we saw that.
And you have to help your son grow up. Like
Absolutely.
teach him how to build a fire. Teach him how to change a tire. You know, things like that. Play catch with him. You know, it's things like teach him how to shoot a gun, clean a gun. You know, respect.
Take it apart. Yeah.
Respect a gun. Things like that. Respect women. Respect your elders. Hold the door open. Say thank you. Say please. Things like that.
Chop wood.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just things like that, like basic things like that, you know, that are also useful. You know, teach them how to use a hammer.
Pay the bill.
That too. Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. Granted, if you're an 11-year-old kid, you're probably not paying the bill.
Yeah, sure. That's a little bit of a later lesson, I
But
guess.
that's a provider. That's a provider aspect.
Absolutely it is.
You know?
Yeah. I don't want to hear any of the red pill guys like, oh, like, but feminism, it's equal 50-50. Shut up, pussy.
Yeah.
Don't bring that here.
Is that red pill? Would that be red pill?
Yeah. They a lot of the
Red pill doesn't support feminism though, does it?
They don't support feminism. So what I was saying is that they're like, well, if feminism is a thing, ladies, then like you should be paying 50% of the bill.
I think they're mocking it.
I would hope they are.
I think
I would hope so.
it. Yeah.
But I've heard scenarios where it's like, well, if she's not the type of woman like that deserves it, then, you know, like if the date goes badly, I'm like, bro.
I'm like, bro, you still took her on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Nobu in California or New York.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a
Right.
$500 meal.
Right.
You know, like it can be a $50 meal.
Sure.
But pay the bill.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pretty simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. So it's all those things that if you don't teach your son, like this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is how the world works. This is what you're supposed to do. Then he's not going to know those things, and he's probably going to have bad relationships with women. You know, he might be abusive or just not present or not realize he's doing things wrong. You know, because maybe he doesn't know any other way. But he also may not be a good student. You know, he may not be good at his job. You know,
Actually, proven statistics right there.
He might be job to job to job, getting fired and stuff like that. You know, like things like that. You all know the type that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like the guy you work with, and you're just like, oh, he's just kind of a gross guy. Well, like he may not have had any direction.
He might not have known
now,
better.
He might just be a shitbag. Like that's also true too. Obviously,
it happens here and there. Yeah,
obviously, yes, 100%. But you know, when people don't have direction, they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
When the government is the top leader in the picture,
right?
Guess what happens?
Right.
The society goes down the hill.
Oh yeah.
It is how it goes every time. It is every historical example of where the government is too involved in a country every single time.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, society's morals go to shit.
Yeah.
They go to shit.
On that note, you want to hear something crazy? So I was talking to one of my players on my team, and I always, I know them outside of baseball. So I check in, like, hey, how's school going?
Sure.
You got good grades? And, blah, blah, blah. I could do the whole thing. And I was asking one kid how school was going. He said he had a test or something, and I think it was geography. And so I was just kind of curious. I'm like, what are you guys doing in geography? Are you just U.S.? And he was like, no, we're working on Canada. And then I was like, oh, Canada. And I was like, that's a communist country.
Shithole.
And like, he knows the things. Like, he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
His mom's really solid. Like, she knows the things. Like, and he was like, yeah, my teacher said something kind of wild about the U.S. Government.
Here we go.
I was like, what? Because again, like, his mom is very informed. She's very much like on our side of things.
Yeah.
So like, therefore, he's learning from her.
Yeah.
It's a single mom too. So like, it's interesting actually. Sort of goes against what we just said earlier, but I feel like that's kind of an anomaly.
Again, there's
like,
outliers.
That's an outlier.
There's always outliers, and we're
For
not
sure.
making the rules off outliers. Yeah.
For sure. But he goes, yeah, my geography teacher said there's no way we could live without the government. And I just kind of like stepped back and I was like, are you serious?
I mean, to be honest with you, that geography teacher probably couldn't live without the government.
Probably. So, you know
without that teachers union, you can't do shit
you want to know
without
what I
it.
said?
Oh, no.
I go, let me guess. Your teacher has 50 different colors in her hair. And he goes, well, she might as well. I was like, perfect. Already knew it. Just a useless piece of society. Like,
I'm just I'm picturing like outlining the teacher right now, and I'm
yeah.
like knowing exactly what I'm
Fat.
looking at. Yeah. Out of shape. Looks like a literal like paint can was dumped in their hair.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
a bunch of paint cans.
Like, multiple different colors
Yeah.
of paint can. Yeah. were thrown in
Prius,
there.
probably, with a whole
Prius,
bunch of stickers
definitely.
on the back.
Yep.
Coexist.
Stereotypes.
And
Yep.
Peace is love or whatever other
Yeah.
stupid shit they got on there.
Ukraine. Yeah, stand with Ukraine.
Of course,
Stand
yes.
stand with Palestine or Israel?
BLM.
Either one. BLM.
That's another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Her, for Hillary. Her. I'm like, oh, cool. Wow.
Hillary's a woman.
She's evil. I mean,
You want to talk about corrupt bitch?
Yeah, there's a lot of words we could use for her.
Oh man,
He is the most unlikable person ever.
Andy literally said that. Were you listening to that episode?
He said some other.
Oh yeah, you used some other words about her. Yeah, but that was like a great point. She is just not like. There's nothing about her that screams.
No.
I would want to talk to her.
No,
Like I wouldn't want her
could
around
she
my
have
children.
At least been hot. Like that would have helped a little bit.
Mitchell, what do you think? You think Hillary's hot? You think she's kind of a babe, low key?
I love pantsuits personally. So
Oh.
that's like the Darth Schwab. That's what he wears.
That was
He wears
the
like
villain
an
outfit.
emperor suit. Wow, emperor.
Instead of Darth Sidious, it's Darth Schwab, right, Mitch?
Darth Schwab's a great name for him.
I love it.
It
I'm
is.
sticking with
It
it.
is. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm all with it. Yeah.
That was like an all-time Untapped podcast quote, right?
100%.
there.
Yeah, I mean, we lost it for a good 3 minutes after
Oh yeah,
that too.
we were
yeah.
just laughing.
Yeah, there was no episode to be had. It was just laughing at that point in time.
Yeah,
The best
so
type episodes.
It's confirmed. Money Mitch is in love with Hillary Clinton.
Hillary, DM my boy,
Yeah.
my brother. Yep. Yeah.
Actually,
He's taken, but yeah.
we probably don't want her to know him because then he'll suicide himself.
Yeah, he'll get in a car accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He'll
But
get
we wouldn't
run
wanna-
over by a train.
Hey, allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just been all of our political rivals.
A car
allegedly.
accident with a bullet hole in the back of your head. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
They shot themselves the bullet holes in the back of their head. Yeah. Yep, that made a lot of sense. I'm gonna kill myself like this. Yep. 100%.
Shit.
For sure.
Now we're mocking suicide. Oh God.
No, we're mocking Hillary
True.
and her methods.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Because
What's the craziest way Hillary Clinton could kill you? What do you think?
that's a tough ask.
What
I
do
don't
you think,
know.
Mitch? You're smarter than us.
Wurtz, a lot of these are conspiracy theories, but what we're referring to about the bullet hole in the back of the head is a
Oh, that's real.
real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
he knew that.
I'm
Okay.
well
Yeah.
aware of that,
Okay.
pal.
No, he's actually asking the question. Yeah.
We're gonna fight, Money Mitch. You're about to just be Mitch. You're losing money. Yeah.
Wait, how do you get to take that away?
Yes.
You have the
You don't
trademark?
get to you don't
Yes.
get to ride in my car anymore if you call me that.
That's a tough loss. Yeah.
Money Mitch, I love you.
Yeah, I love riding that thing. So what the circular point of that was in general, it was interesting
It was a
because
huge circle.
that is a good example. It was a very large circle. But the thing is that is a good example. That geography teacher is a good example of how the government gets too bloated. That's exactly what happens, because when they dictate the morals, they dictate them for them. They dictate them
Exactly.
for their cash in their pockets, because all of a sudden they come in worth $500,000. Next thing you know, they're worth $70 million when they come out. It's like, maybe they shouldn't make the rules on society.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a guess.
Right.
And again, what are these morals, guys? What are these morals? And because we've been talking about how to get back to them. We've been talking about some of the ways to get back to them. What are these morals? Family values, monogamy,
Yeah.
mother and father in the household.
Yes.
A lot of the times, Christian Judeo values are the ones to go with it, and we believe in them. Christian
Sure.
values all the way through.
Yeah.
All the way through, because the Bible gives a literal outline to basically a healthy life.
Sure.
Essentially, if you read through the Bible, you could pick a random page in the Bible and it'd be like, oh, I learned a serious lesson from that today.
Absolutely.
So that's why we talk about Christian values, because Christ is king, 100 all the way through. That's apparently a crazy phrase nowadays to say. I don't know.
well, you're obviously racist. For that.
No, I'm anti-Semitic apparently.
No, you're racist.
Yeah, oh, that too. Both? Can I be both? I guess.
I'll allow it.
Okay, got it. But the point of the matter, again, Christian values. We talked about family values, which come along with Christian values. Again, caring about your neighbor, loving your neighbor, trustworthy, protecting, providing if you're a man. Being a wonderful, empathetic wife for your children, raising them to be good, loving humans.
Mhm.
You could make a list here. I'm not going to list all of them, but I think you guys know where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Those are the morals we need, especially in the U.S., but around the world would be beautiful
Absolutely.
if we can get that to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And I think there was a little bit of a turn in that, in, like, for example, Ireland and a couple other countries in Europe. They were kind of revolting government-wise back to traditional values. I don't know if you saw about that.
Yeah, like you're talking about like the Conor McGregor stuff.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
that. It was the Conor McGregor stuff, and then there was also, I think, a change in the Polish government, and Mitchell, maybe you can confirm this if you heard anything about this, but the Polish government had a change. And I believe one of the other countries in Europe recently just had a Netherlands. It was, yes,
A
Netherlands
change
for
in
sure.
what?
A change back to traditional government, like less government and more family values.
Did they have like new elections?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
And just the people that got voted in.
Yes.
Were that
exactly.
see,
Yeah,
I
there
see.
was a big change in that, and again, there has been a little bit of a counter revolution in Europe because there's been a whole bunch of refugees come up, like all the things getting diluted
I mean,
and
they're
whatnot.
sick of it.
And for us, it's the migrants that we're just letting flow in, and a lot of them are military age males. Again, I get the bleeding heart thing, let the women and children in and whatnot, but
how do we know?
how do we know exactly? We don't.
And on that topic, like, we're not saying migrants or immigrants or whatever can't come here.
They're going to take it how it is. And
of course,
we're not saying that, but they're going to take it how it is.
Of course. And it's just like, we have a process for this for a reason.
Exactly.
And if you can get through that process successfully, by all means, come in. Live the life you're one. Get away from the life that you're trying to escape, and live the life that you're wanting to live here.
Yeah.
Like, you have that opportunity here. You do. So if you do it right, then by all means.
Who are two of the groups that do the best in the U.S.? Cuban legal immigrants and Nigerian legal immigrants.
Is that
both of them? Yes.
statistical?
Nigerian are like way up there.
Which I can't imagine it's a huge population that comes
Sure,
from
but still.
Nigeria. But
So there's enough of population that, I'm sure it's in the thousands. I would imagine. At least it's the U.S. for that matter.
Mitch is on a computer.
But Nigerians are known to be very, very, wealthy, but also traditional as well. And the Cubans, same way.
Those cigars, though.
Oh, yeah. True.
I've actually never tried a Cuban cigar. I've only had Dominican.
Have we had any technical Cuban ones?
I don't think I've just had Dominican and that other country.
I might have had that other country.
Nicaragua. I was
okay,
I'm like, I know it.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I would imagine I might have smoked one at one point in time, but yes.
Could be.
But the point is that is a well-known fact, especially in Florida. That's where most of the Cuban immigrants are. They are a very, very integral part of society.
They're also
there.
very passionate about the U.S.
Yes,
like
they are.
They wave the U.S. flag with theirs. I get being proud of your country, where you're from. Like, I don't necessarily see a problem with that. Yeah, absolutely. But they are just as proud to fly this one right here too. And
red, white, and blue.
That's what I care about.
Absolutely.
Be proud that you're from Cuba. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the most. Like, I don't know if that's the greatest place to be from.
Fidel and Trudeau. Yeah,
exactly. Brothers right there.
Yeah.
Father and son. But if you're gonna come here and you're gonna do it right and you're proud of this flag, then we're friends.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
What's funny is a lot of them, especially in Florida, are huge Trump supporters. Massive.
That was one of the biggest changes for the DeSantis election, I believe, and for the 2020 election as it was too. Florida, for DeSantis and for Trump, blew it out of the water. And it was because Hispanic immigrants just went crazy on the red side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. On the right side.
And again, we hate plenty of Republicans as it is, but
yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
and
but
we're not these enormous Trump supporter guys either. However, is there a better choice?
Vivek, but
Yeah. He just doesn't have the name behind him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he is extremely solid. He keeps doing really good things.
I see him being phenomenal.
Keeps saying the right things anyway.
The 10% tax thing about put me on his page right away.
Massive.
I was like, yes. Because again, what are we talking about, guys? What are we talking about? We're talking about getting the government out of our lives and focusing on individual and family values.
Yes.
What does less tax do? It allows families to make more money.
Right.
And what is the number one thing that causes divorce? Finances. So guess what? Families are going to stay together more because of the fact that there's less government intervention on taxes.
Right.
If we just do flat rate 10%, call it good.
Right. And it's so simple.
It's simple economics.
It is so simple.
Basic.
Well, and I mean, just like have that. Like, that would still provide more than enough money for this country.
Yeah.
To raise the salaries of things like educators and first responders, things like that. To still be able to have nice roads and bridges and infrastructure, things like that. Because you can also privatize some of that, like with what Elon Musk is doing in Vegas, and I think he's done it in L.A. as well with the Boring Company.
Yes.
The underground tunnels and all that. Like, that's all privatized. That's not the government doing those things. Obviously, they're involved to a certain extent because you can't just dig tunnels anywhere you want, and that's fine.
It'd be sweet. Yeah. Just go dig a tunnel.
We might collapse, though.
Yeah.
Especially in Missouri. There's a lot of caves under us.
Yeah, there is, actually. That's very
we
true.
could literally have a sinkhole open up right here.
I'd live in a cave. Yeah.
You kind of resemble a caveman. I can see that.
I'm a knuckle dragger for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely a knuckle dragger.
Oh, God. Please, those of you that just listen to us, please go to YouTube and see that.
You got it.
What just
You've got
happened?
Oh my goodness, that was just wonderful right there. So what you were just saying though about the government being like on the 10% tax level of involved. What I see right now too, an American value that used to be a really common thing, is the ability to say no to bullshit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
like a 3% tax.
Exactly.
And then we
throwing tea in the harbor. And then we just bent the British over. Get out.
Boston Tea Party. Ever heard of it?
No big deal. 1776. Kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of sick government. Not sick country.
Sick
Never mind.
country.
Yeah, sick country. Sorry. But the point of the matter is like we had the ability to say no to things. For example, like letting 10-year-olds chop off their genitals and calling it a good thing.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I don't like that one either.
I'm not for that.
But again, that's our second portion there, showing how our morals have fallen.
Oh yeah,
we allow stuff like that, and we allow them to call it healthcare. The useful idiots that whoever we want to talk about, Shadowverse or whatever, has instilled to put those values into society because they know it crumbles. Every empire is crumbled when men don't know if they're women or women don't know if they're women, et cetera, blah blah blah.
Well,
blah.
What is a woman?
Can't answer. It's somebody who identifies as a woman. That's the thing I've seen. They keep trying to use the word in the definition. That's not how it works.
Right. And the whole identify as, like, that doesn't make you a woman.
That doesn't
though.
mean anything. Like, it means nothing.
I can call myself a rabbit. Guess what? I'm still a human male. I can prove it to you pretty easily too. Don't worry, YouTube. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, YouTube. We won't throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll prove it to you guys after the cameras are off.
Just put a cricket sound right there. I believe you though. I'll take your word.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take your word for sure. Yeah. We'll go with that to solidify the the fact there of that of you being a male. But again, like what are we saying no to? What are we talking about?
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and there's like
children.
That's obviously that's a huge one for us.
And what does that do to them though?
I mean, they're ruined for life. And there's a very
they can't reproduce.
They can't reproduce.
If they're like at 20, they're like, oh my gosh, I made a bad decision.
Right. There's a higher percentage of them killing themselves.
Exactly. Another one.
So the suicide rate skyrockets.
Yep.
As far as what else, I mean, those are the two.
Hormones are destroyed.
Oh well, of course, yes.
Destroyed. Yes. And we probably could guess that one off the fertility,
right,
and whatnot, because you're not having kids again,
right? But like, so children, that's another one, or that's a big one, obviously for us. Kill all pedophiles, of course,
100%.
But another one is
bury them.
Respect for authority.
Yep.
Great one. When our authority, looking at the U.S. government, it's supposed to be an authority figure in our country, and like that's okay.
Used to be respectful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think so anyway.
From what we know.
You know what I mean?
What we know.
Yeah. And when you're younger, like you don't know any better. You hear the president of the United States, like you think of authority.
Yeah.
However, right now, obviously this is not an authority to respect, but I mean like law enforcement. You see people disrespecting police and things like that. And
dancing on their cars. And
dancing on their cars, breaking into the cars and lighting them on fire and stuff like that. And
making fun of them at traffic stops and whatnot instead of being a compliant traffic. Yeah.
And like being friendly with them. If I'm out on a ruck or something in my neighborhood, and whether it's a fire truck, which the fire guys always love
they're
when they see me rucking and stuff. But even the cops too. Like I always wave. I always wave, and I always get a wave back because it's just like my wave to them is just kind of a, hey, I appreciate what you do. Like that's kind of what I mean by that wave. It's not just like a hi. It's just, you know what? Like I appreciate what you do for this community, And
absolutely, because they do have a big role in it.
And do first responders do things wrong? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
As any population would.
Yeah. And that's going to happen.
Yep.
Okay. Do I always do a perfect job at my job? No, obviously I make mistakes. Police, sometimes their mistakes end up with life lost. Okay.
Right.
I understand that.
Yep.
And that's not right.
And
especially if they're in the wrong.
And we should handle it when that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
And we should handle it accordingly.
There should be discipline accordingly.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you have a guy who does not die because of a knee on his neck and he ends up having fentanyl in his blood, maybe I should put the glasses on here.
Yep.
the cop should not be freaking prosecuted
You look
for
awesome
that.
in those.
I feel like I look ridiculous.
No, you look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But the point
absolutely.
remains,
Absolutely.
you know? And I
Because
hope all of you know the situation
The
I'm
tox
talking
reports showed fentanyl was the killing
Exactly.
blow, essentially.
Exactly. So in that situation, that's what's making the news, though, is that is it Derek Chauvin, right?
Yes.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Yep, he's the cop.
Is
Yep.
is in the wrong. And it's like, no, he's not.
Mm.
He's not. You know, so it's just, but back to my main point of morals that should be back, values that should be back, is respect of authority, respect of law enforcement, you know, respect for our military. You know, that's another one there. Our military is a joke right now.
Mm-hmm.
Here they are, they kicked out all the masculine men, you know, the actual soldiers, you know.
All the studs.
The studs, yes. Connor included in
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Kicked him out for
You
not getting
imagine
jabbed.
Connor.
Huh?
You imagine Connor downrange. Just taking
Well,
people out.
Well, he
Yeah.
had a big old gun, too,
Yeah.
that he was
Exactly.
shooting. I mean, good Lord. That
Yeah.
thing is so sick.
Videos of that. Yeah, go to if you guys want, go to Connor Goodrich on Instagram. I
Yeah.
think there's a
There's
something in there,
an
like a
underscore, maybe.
underscore somewhere in there. But oh man, I mean, he has some videos on there of the
Sick.
stuff he
Yeah.
did. Unreal.
You know, but we should have like pride
We
in
should be
our
able to revere
military.
our military.
Exactly. And like there are still aspects of our military that are super cool.
Yeah.
You know, the
Sure.
the fighter jets we have, the airplanes, and you know, the ships that we have. I've had the opportunity to be on a couple of them, you know, and like they're awesome. Even the older ones.
Sick.
It's just like this is a floating city. Like this is so freaking cool.
Yeah. They covered
you know?
everything in those.
And planes land on this in the middle of the ocean. Like that is awesome.
It's ridiculous.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like we should have that pride in that. We should have, you know, pride in our special forces and things like that. And because we do have respect for those guys, like we still have that pride. And I think most of the country probably does. But when one of our top military figures is one of those they them can't decide what I am today people, like
It looks like a Gorlock.
how do we?
Yeah.
It's an it for sure.
Yeah. It's like Webster
I
University.
think it's Shrek.
Yeah, Webster University, their mascot's the Gorlocks. That's what I would assume a Gorlock looks like, is that admiral.
Is that
And then
yeah?
yeah.
But
Yep.
it's just like how do we have pride in our country and in our military when that is leading it?
100%.
Like get out of here.
Yep.
Get out of here. And then here they are now, like begging for those people to
Yeah.
come back that they kicked out. It's like, no,
Yep.
screw you.
Not to mention higher brass were listening to orders for the ones who kicked out people like Connor
Mhm.
for not taking the jab.
Right. And obviously that happened in police stations too and stuff. It's like the leaders of those precincts and whatnot have got to stand up. They
Yeah.
know it's wrong to arrest someone for not having a mask on outside walking
Of
on
course
the
they do.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
Or in California when they arrested a guy for surfing. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like Gavin Newsom, Joe Biden, Hillary, and Fauci, I would just like they're equal. They're equal. And I'm sure there's people I'm forgetting.
Equal in the gallows.
Dead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
oh
Right.
yeah.
Just swinging.
Yeah, just hanging there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it.
And then
I love making chipper noises.
wood chipper alert.
Bro, did you hear that thing of Andy? He was like, I'm going to start towing a wood chipper behind my truck.
Oh yes, I did. I can't believe First Form doesn't have a wood chipper yet.
Andy's got to have one lying around
Or at least
somewhere.
one
at
like
least.
for his freedom gear, like with the bison and stuff. Like
and
come
we've
on.
seen some of the vehicles they
Andy's
have at First
fake.
Form.
Andy's fake.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's fake for that.
Yeah, definitely. The day in the lives they computer generated everything.
100%.
It was all AI made. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Obviously. Yeah. I bet DJ's not even black.
That would be a really long fraud to pull off. I mean,
It's a lot of dedication.
that's hundreds of episodes on YouTube. I mean, every Instagram stories, everything.
You're right.
They'd have to be putting melanin on them.
Yeah. The roids we were talking about. Yeah.
yeah. Increase the vertical a little bit. Yeah. Dude, I think you're absolutely right though, and I think one thing along the respect to authority line as well is we have to also be able to critically think. Because how divided do we get because of the black square shit and whatnot when the whole Floyd situation happened and whatnot?
Or the newest world crisis.
The
or
newest,
whatever. Yeah.
newest Israel Hamas thing, Ukraine Russia thing, whatever. Like we have to be able to critically think. Like, are they pulling some strings to get us focused on like away from the fact that there's literally shit in our streets and needles in our streets and,
stealing
whatnot,
our money.
and murder rates continue to rise in cities, and violent crime continues to be a serious problem in cities. Like you name it.
I mean, dude,
You name it.
right now, they're doing this whole white pneumonia thing in China.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, they are literally trying to pull the exact same play as what they did in 2020.
What did we talk about?
Like
We talked about that episode. Remember that?
identical.
Sears virus. Remember we talked about
Yes.
that on the episode? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Probably
And
15 or so ago.
here they are doing it, and it's like what's the one doctor, the good McCullough. Yeah. Here he is, like he's saying, like, nope, there's treatments for this. They're actually using them in China. He's like, I have a source in China that had this pneumonia. He was using big words that I don't know and don't understand, but I got the point of him saying these worked. Guess what they're not talking about on the news?
Yep.
The remedies.
They're just calling it white lung.
Ding, ding, ding.
New
Sound like
cases in
ivermectin
Ohio,
and hydroxychloroquine with COVID. Interesting.
Mm.
Like, guys, we cannot fall for this again.
Nope.
Like, we seriously can't do it. They're trying to do it the same exact way starting in China.
I mean, I could promise us three won't.
Well, I already have my pack of masks in my car.
You do?
So,
You went in 95 this time?
no, just the blue ones. They're the most effective. Yeah. Yeah.
New study came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Went against all the other randomized control trials, I'm assuming.
It's my own study. One of one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't get COVID and you wore a mask.
Well, no, I did get COVID, but then I wore the mask and
it went, so you wore it when you got COVID, then it cured you.
and then I still had COVID. but the mask worked. Oh. But maybe I should get oh, wait, the vaccine doesn't work either.
Oh, wait, natural immunity was proven to be more effective. Huh.
Well, then why did they tell us to get the vaccine and wear a mask and all that? It couldn't be because they wanted to see how compliant we would be,
No,
right?
they wouldn't have an opposite agenda, would they?
How easy they could control us, right?
No, it couldn't be that.
No, because they have our
No,
best intentions in
no.
mind.
No,
That's crazy, dog, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You can't be
you're right,
saying
you're
that
right.
kind of stuff.
The
dude.
government cares about us, for sure.
Well, yeah, we couldn't live
Yeah.
without them.
No, I couldn't. Yeah, it's for sure.
I can't do this anymore, bro.
Just bullshitting.
Just kill them all.
Just lying. Just murder them. Just shipper them all.
This is crazy. Holy cow, man. Oh, I don't know if YouTube's going to allow this one.
Well, again, we put out however many like this, so.
Guess we'll see.
And Andy puts his out, so
yeah,
if he can get his on YouTube,
Yeah.
we should be fine.
Yeah.
But they did take down one of ours. You know,
we're on the list.
it's kind of cool.
Steve Reich won.
A little bit exciting.
Good thing in baseball you get 3. I guess we'll see what happens with YouTube.
Well, technically, we were only on a warning. You know, then we'll have 3 strikes after that. Yeah, they gave us a little pee-pee whack. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Pee-pee whack.
Yeah, that's that.
Little sack tap.
You haven't heard Jeff say that before? Oh,
No.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He always says that shit.
If we do get kicked off of YouTube, guys, just know that we are going to go on Rumble.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Probably should just do that anyway, honestly.
Probably we should have it on both, more than likely,
Yeah.
just in case.
I wonder if we
Yeah.
could start an OnlyFans.
Where'd that come from?
I mean, not to do weird stuff on there. I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
just to have
everyone's
the podcast
obsessed
in
with
there.
OnlyFans. Hey, wait. Okay, if we're actually going to stay on topic here, like, that goes into it too.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Things like that.
Actually, yes, it does. 100%.
Like the
Yeah.
sexualization
There we
of
go.
everybody,
Very nice.
male and female. Yeah, I know. We need to wrap this up. We're ranting way too much.
But no, we'll wrap it up on that though, because the sexualization is probably one of the top ones. I mean,
Yeah.
casual sex. Sex toys everywhere.
Children. Sexualizing children.
Sexualizing children.
Yeah.
Balenciaga, etc. All you name
Great
it.
one.
All the what's it called? The luxury brands and whatnot.
Sure.
You know, having weird like bondage gear on them when that happened. When we talked about that on an episode.
Yeah.
You know, another one is every kid show, every show in general. They love their sex scenes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just do this. Sex has no consequences. It definitely doesn't create emotional bonds. For sure, it doesn't. Bullshit.
Right.
And where did that come from? That was another thing that was pushed down the pipeline back in the 70s.
Definitely. And even more
And
so
we're
now.
reaping the consequences of it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Hardcore.
Definitely. And it's so accessible too with things like OnlyFans.
Yeah, Pornhub, you
and
name it. It's
and
disgusting.
social media in
It's
general.
disgusting.
Like
Yeah.
the sexualization of social media. There are a lot of great things about social media, but there are certainly a lot of bad things too.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, think about the Instagram Explore page.
Exactly. 100%. Like, I don't look that stuff up. Why is it on there?
Mhm.
Like, show me some baller stuff.
Yep.
Let me see cars and planes and
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah. Business advice.
Yeah.
Fitness advice.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Motivational stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's the same David
And
Goggins
that's the
clip I've
only
seen.
stuff we interact with as it is.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. Well, that was a lot.
It was. say the least.
We covered a lot.
Pack that in 50 minutes
we
right there,
also-
the main portion of the content.
We also laughed a lot.
Yeah.
Guys, we go off a task sometimes or off
Breaking
topic,
news especially.
especially breaking
Yep.
news. So just bear with us. I know you're laughing too. It is proven we are hilarious. We know it.
Comedians.
Okay.
Shane Gillis level.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not that high. He's
pretty
hilarious.
good.
He is so funny.
No.
Yeah.
No. His Trump impression is so freaking great.
They're all gay.
I'm not.
Queer.
Oh God. Anyway.
Let's do the Q&A.
Anyway, yes. So,
Oh.
guys, at the end of all of our episodes, Money Mitch will ask us a Q&A question. You guys can submit those a couple different ways. First, you can DM them to us on Instagram at untapped.llp. You can also DM them to us individually. You can email them to us as well, extricationfitness@gmail.com. That is a mouthful. That's why we changed the name. There is
Correct.
an email button in our bio on Instagram. Again, that is at untapped.llp. You can also leave them in the comments on our YouTube videos and or on our Instagram posts, guys. So all of those questions, we get them. We give them to Money Mitch. There's a whole bunch of them, and typically they kind of fall in line with what we talk about in the episode. Sometimes they're funny, but he picks them out, and then he asks us, Mitch, it's your time to shine.
How do you call out friends when their moral standard fails?
You don't stay friends with them.
And I would say that is the last step right there.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
for sure. But I mean, you're going in the right direction there
Right.
for sure.
Because if you care enough about them, you're going to try and help.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And there's not an exact number on it. You know, you like helping them, for example.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm going to help them 3 times and I'm gone. That's
Right.
that's not what
Right.
we're saying here. You know, that'd be pretty stupid. But I mean, I would say again, what do we say one of the values America's missing? Saying no. Grow some balls and tell your friend, "Hey, quit having casual sex with a bunch of girls."
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty important one.
Absolutely.
Hey, bro, you should probably want to get married and want to have kids and build an amazing life
Right.
because that is a virtuous and amazing thing to do.
Absolutely.
That is something all 3 of us are striving toward,
Absolutely.
without a doubt.
And if you're a functioning male, and you boys know what I mean by functioning, like it is your duty to have a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Which
like,
fertility is a big problem these days, yeah.
it is.
But for those of us that can,
Right. I suppose we don't even know if
We don't even
for
know.
that matter.
we don't even know.
But
I mean, it's terrifying. I don't want to think about
I know.
that. But yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I try
Right.
not to let that occupy my thoughts too much.
right. That one
But
I
it
have to
does
kind of
sometimes.
push aside.
I
yeah.
know.
But again, like it comes down to grow some balls, tell your friend.
Right.
And again, a lot of the times, like men were okay with calling at each other. Ladies, don't be afraid to do the same thing.
Sure.
Don't be afraid to talk to your, and you don't have to like go at them. Like we can go at each other a little bit.
Sure.
We can put it, lay it down a little bit.
Right.
Ladies, you probably should approach it a little bit differently with your friends. That
yeah.
might be following, let's say they're drinking 4 times a week. Okay. If you want to have a long-term life and want a healthy life just alone without
Right.
alcohol in your life, because we know what alcohol does to your body if you drink that much.
Except Busch Light.
Except Busch Light. That one's good to go. Yep. Clear. Yeah. But again, that's a good example. They're drinking a lot. Hey, friend. I don't want to name one because next thing you know, if I use a name, like some girl is going to be listening with that name and be like, "Oh, you're talking about me?" No, I'm not talking about you. But go to your friend, be like, "Hey, is this really conducive to what you want as your long-term goals?
Yeah. You say you want this, but you're doing this.
Do you want a husband and children?
Right.
Do you want to build a successful life with your family?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see your parents and live happy lives with them long term and have a great relationship with them long term?"
Right. Right. Cheating's another thing.
Cheat,
You know,
100%.
If you
Male
have
or
a
female.
friend
Yeah.
and you know that they're cheating on their significant other,
Scumbag activity.
like it,
yeah.
no, for real though.
Yeah.
But and you don't call it out, like you're perpetuating that problem.
Yeah. Especially if the dude turns around and is like, "Hey, bro, like men can have multiple women. Shut up, bro.
Yeah.
That red
Yeah.
pill shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But because like something like that, I feel like I see this more often with girls. They complain about not having any good men approach them for dates or
Yeah.
to date or something like that. But then here they are going around there and they're cheating.
They're looking for men at the bars.
Well, that too. Like, I'm sorry, you're just not going to find what you say you want.
Yeah.
You're not going to find that there.
No.
You're just not. Like, unless it's like a soda bar, maybe.
Anyway, that's that, new idea. 75 hard bar.
Gatorade bar.
Yeah. It's an option.
First form
Electrolyte bar.
energy.
Yeah.
First form
know,
energy
That's honestly, I would go to that
in
bar.
a fountain. Yeah, I'd go there.
Oh my gosh, it's probably amazing. That's like draft beer
Oh.
essentially. Draft beer is 10 times better
Yeah.
than any other type of beer. It would be the same thing with like
True.
on tap first form energy,
Yeah.
100%.
Or like, can you just like
We're giving
picture
this is a free
it
ad
in a gas
too.
station?
Like,
Like putting your cup in, it's just orange
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out of there.
orange sunrise,
That's awesome.
unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to hear Mitchell's take on this as well. Since you were able to look at the question a little bit, what do you think?
It's a interesting way I was thinking about it is you kind of base it off of your own experiences and then you can maybe connect to them in that way. Because like it or not, a lot of us go through very similar experiences, or we can kind of connect those experiences to another
Definitely.
person's. So I'd say understanding the reason why they're failing in the first place. Is it, are they just not doing it simply because of an external reason? Are they doing it because they maybe don't care anymore? You need to understand that first. And then the next part is once they kind of understand that, or you understand why they're not doing it, is kind of leading by example. And we've talked about this before many times, where if you're not set up as you should be,
Oh yeah,
you can't really, it's the analogy, why are you throwing stones when there's a plank in your eye type of thing.
or yeah, like you're focusing on like the small little wood chip in their eye when you have this massive plank in your eye.
Yeah,
you're
It's a
chirping
biblical
right.
verse.
You're
yeah.
chirping buddy for this little thing and you're 300 pounds. Like,
Right.
yeah, get out
You
of
don't
here.
you don't have room to talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So making sure you're standing on a good compass there. And then calling them out, just being straight up honest. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole nice guy versus good guy debate is still very relevant.
Definitely.
And like, you got to be hard on your friends. I mean, for the most part, dudes recognize respect, right? And if another guy doesn't respect you and like you show that to them, that will get their attention much faster than trying to baby them or hold their
Right.
hand or
Right.
whatever along those lines.
right. No,
Very,
yeah.
very true.
I agree.
Dudes want to have feel a certain amount of powerful. They want to see.
Sure.
They want to feel that respect and that power, even from their friends.
Definitely.
Not only from their wife or their girlfriend, but also from their friends. 100%.
Yeah,
That's a great
absolutely.
point, Mitchell.
Absolutely.
Again, we know why he's smarter than us.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. A little bit more eloquent answer than just
One thing I don't
grow
think
some
we've
balls.
ever been in the place any of us have been, but think of like the quintessential the fat kid in your friend group, like the funny fat guy.
Yeah.
And he's
The duff.
Yeah. Well, no, like even in a guy group, there's always some
Yeah.
like one chubbier guy who's always hilarious, but there's still some modicum of respect for that guy because he brings the funny portion.
some
to
type
it.
of
Still
value.
brings something
so
to your
to a
life.
certain
Yeah, some
point.
value.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So there
yeah.
has to be something that other people respect or that they don't have
Yeah.
in
Well-
order to have that.
I would just tell him to get jacked and funny like all three of us.
Right.
It's a good
pretty
combo.
simple. It's pretty
Yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For
to be
sure.
above 6 foot.
What's that?
Mother-
Doesn't Lil Uzi have a line? Stand
Yeah.
on my money, I'm 5'9" or
No, he said, without my money, I'm like 5'4". Stand on my money, I'm 6'4", or something like that.
I'm
Yeah,
6'6". Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my line right
Yeah.
there.
Fair line.
Fair
Yeah,
line.
I can't fight that. For
Valid.
Sure. Yeah.
Valid.
Very valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Confirmed. Yeah. Confirmed line. Confirmed function for Mitchell Gabel.
Yes. Yes. It's got to be the untapped salary we've got him on.
We are paying him bags for sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
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 Well, stacks. That's what he's standing on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That untapped bag is crazy.
Oh God, we love you, Money Mitch.
Yeah.
But and I don't think either one of us. Well, I know neither one of us could have said that any better because as we've established, he's much more
very
intelligent.
very eloquent. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
But anyway, guys, that is gonna be episode 104. Make sure you share this show. Okay, I know you definitely learned something. You agree with us on something or all of it, maybe, and you certainly laughed. I know that's true at a minimum. So if that is true, please share the show, guys. Share it to your Instagram story. Share it with your friends, your family. It really, really helps us grow. And we really want to accomplish some big things going into the new year here. You know, it's been a massive year of growth. We talked about this last time with the Spotify Wraps coming out, that all these people had us in their top 5, and a bunch of them had us as their number 1, which is just so cool. Again, that means a ton. And guys, we want to continue that growth going into the next year here, not in the new year, but going into it. Like, we want to start that right now.
There's no resolution for us. It's just keep going.
It's just keep hammering away. Yep. You know what I mean? So, guys, please continue the support and the love. Until next time.
Got too little time, I'm